After flat earthers, anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers comes the next stupidest group of people with a completely new conspiration theory. What is it? The anti-flusher. They believe that government is collecting everyone's poos and extracting personal data from it. Better keep it with me in my tinfoil hat cabinet. Jokes aside, analysis of sewer water can be really useful tool to measure consumption of drugs in city. Of course it is impossible to track it, but it gives nice statistics. And it can show certain trends, for example meth decrease caused by it being replaced with weird synthetic stuff. This isn't even a secret. Newspaper brings these statistics time to time. Other places aren't real. Like most people view most of the world via the internet. Basic idea is that the rest of the world elsewhere from where they're at is completely different from its accepted form or doesn't exist. Example. Only North America exists. All other continents don't, etc. I mean that's essentially the basis of the stereotypical American mentality for the past few decades. Just not so literal. Assuming that everybody should, or does, speak English no matter where they go. Visiting other countries and only eating at McDonald's. Getting mad that foreign people even exist, for challenging their limited worldview. Being appalled at the idea of paying for a universal healthcare system, because they never knew that this is the only country where a broken arm costs thousands of dollars. I'm staying with my mom during the pandemic and am watching TV for the first time in years. A lot of the U.S. shows she watches are set in an imaginary place called Chicago. It seems that all of the emergency and health services in this Chicago place are just actors on TV. I have never been to Chicago nor have I ever met anyone from there. So I have reached the conclusion that Chicago is not a real place. Its appearance on maps is simply a cartographic conspiracy or possibly an inside joke. Exercise ruins your physique. This kind of exists in the you only have so many heartbeats in your life thinking. Had a professor who swore by that so he never exercised and was morbidly obese. Thought process was if I only have so many heartbeats. Better not raise my heart rate and use them up faster. This was neglecting that even if true. A healthy heart actually has a lower heart rate. Trump supposedly also subscribes to this theory. I've seen similar. Actually. In my little town. There's a freaky group popping up at running trails with signs and flyers saying our bodies weren't designed to sustain repeated impact like running and resistance training. They think it breaks your body more than it can actually recover from. And that what we think is increased strength and health is an illusion of some sort. They had a fancy term for it but it broke down into basically saying that you only think things are easier to lift. Or that you can run better. Because it isn't as extreme as you've been through before. But it's all in your head. I believe that there are anti-gravities. There's no such thing as gravity, instead it's the pressure of the atmosphere pressing us down. A friend of mine believes this. He thinks that things stay down because of density. I did ask him how he explains a bowling ball and a feather falling at the same speed in a vacuum. He said that these experiments are all faked. There's no debating that tbh. Pizza isn't flat. It's a sphere. Pee is stored in the balls. When I was a wee lad, I used to think that when a dude wanted to have a kid, he shot his balls in the lady. Asked my dad and everything. That's when he told me that pee is stored in the balls. Well, Scientology is by far even more stupid than the ones you mentioned. Once got junk mail from Scientology. There was some weird whack ass crazy shit in their mayo. Not a group but a dude in my class once said that mitochondria is not the powerhouse of the cell. One of my bio teachers also said that, although for good reason. His logic. Chloroplasts also give the cell energy. And people often forget that. Birds aren't real. They think the US government replaced all birds with drones for spying. And COVID was created to keep us indoors so that they change the batteries. Yes. Anti-science. A new more powerful version of all three, and they reject everything from basic biology to advanced physics. Unfortunately, I had a run-in with somebody like that the other day. They asked me to provide reasons why subtle drugs like cannabis could negatively affect health in the long term. As somebody who studies neuroscience extensively, I gave them a lecture on it. Before you ask. No. I'm too tired to repeat myself. I will sum it up though. Over a period of time, damage to the hippocampus equals loss of memory or lack of ability to retain certain memories. And extensive misuse causes certain neurotransmitters, namely dopamine and serotonin, to become practically useless, causing forms of depression to develop. Further, they asked me to provide sources. I told them straight up. Psychology textbooks and full-length studies. The information is all there. Go look it up. But their response summed up. I'm sorry, but I'm not persuaded. Need I say more? Anti-science used to be mainly religious types. But nowadays it's corporations pushing anti-science, trying to avoid regulation. It started with tobacco, then moved to fossil fuels. Then they started introducing bullshit economics, trickle down my ass, and they support fringe political theories. How did Tea Party suddenly rise to power? Anti-tax. Corporate think tanks supported them heavily. Close bracket. This is already a thing. See. Politicians suggesting we use herd immunity for COVID, when herd immunity only works if we have vaccines. Politicians calling global warming a Chinese hoax. Politicians suggesting that warm weather can stop the spread of a viral pandemic. Politicians suggesting that women naturally block pregnancies they don't want. The list goes on. And who voted for these politicians? People who don't respect science. Weren't there already people claiming coronavirus is caused by the electromagnetic waves which propagate 5-gram cellular data signals? Most of these people tend to be right-wingers for some reason. Not all, but most. QAnon is pretty f-king stupid. Funny how they came to prominence around the time of Epstein. They are being used to muddy the waters and get the general public to roll their eyes when they hear about actual real events because QAnon has associated those events with a tinfoil hat. Negative connotation. Conspiracy theorist image. I hate that these conspiracies have hijacked the term deep state, which used to mean military defense and intelligence agencies, CIA, etc., who do have a lot of influence in government and certainly carried out some shady operations over the years. Nowadays, if you call out the deep state for perpetuating unnecessary wars in the Middle East, you're treated like a tinfoil hat crackpot. Though we are inside a simulation theory, one of the many proofs. USB cables that you have to turn 5 times on average to plug them in instead of 0. 5 equals, obviously a bug in the simulation. Another one. Assuming there is only one actual reality and all other realities are simulations or simulations in simulations. It is statistically very likely that we are not in the actual reality. The interesting side on this one is that you can't disprove it being inside the simulation. And it isn't actually that stupid to believe in it. It's just stupid if you decide to make it the centerpiece of your whole world and start acting like an idiot because it's just a simulation, not realizing that even if it is, it's still the reality you live in. There is actually a way that we can kind of disprove that theory. Irrational numbers. For instance, if pi has an infinite number of digits, no computer could ever compute the actual value because it would take an infinite amount of time. And it is not enough to just compute some of it, because a lot of the physics in the universe would not work with an approximated value. There are many other such irrational numbers where this is also the case. People who thinks math is not real. At this point I know this will be a thing in the next month or year or so. Rest in peace my inbox. The climate deniers and creationists always have something new. No. Wait, they just recycle their old crap without even pretending to listen. Never mind. This. Definitely this. We're going to destroy the world because these assholes refuse to acknowledge reality. Anti-natural power, anti-wind power, solar panels, water power act. Close bracket. Solar power is great. But have you ever wondered why there are no wind turbines on Hawaii? A tribune large enough to provide any amount of energy needs will actually cause the island to move. You want Hawaii crashing into the coast of Montana? Put a wind turbine on it. Pure, clean burning American coal however keeps that island in the sea where it belongs. Anti-schoolers. It's a terrible place and my child doesn't need the ability to read. This has been a thing for decades among fundamentalist Christians. My parents tried to homeschool me in the 90s. They ordered a homeschool history book that included text about how the flood wiped out the dinosaurs. Anti-glasses. You are perfect the way you were created and don't need anything to be normal. Double quote. Anti-comedians. People who think that jokes are offensive and are only for psychopaths. We don't have much time left BTW. When you think about it, comedians are all psychos. They lie and manipulate you into a reaction. I didn't decide to laugh. They made me laugh. Who wants to give up control of their body like that? I sure don't. I only want to feel feelings that I decide to feel. These are egotistical manchildren incompatible with our great society. I look forward to a future where we only laugh at abstract memes that have been thoroughly vetted by the Council of Culture Control to scrub them fully clean of any possible offense. Only then will we be truly safe. I've been f-king with people who don't believe in the moon landing by agreeing, but then saying that there was no moon landing because the moon does not exist. You can't talk sense into these morons. But you can absolutely FCK with them for some cheap laughs. A friend of mine always likes to rant about how the moon landing wasn't real and it was filmed in a studio and all that bullshit. My friend and I are pretty sure that he's just messing with us because it usually comes up when we're all spouting bullshit about conspiracies while moderately intoxicated, but I've literally never heard this guy say otherwise once. I've known this dude for like 5 years and he's never once admitted that he's messing with us or said that the moon landing really did happen. I'm starting to get concerned that he might actually be serious. The anti-washer. They refuse to use any soap products because they think that they have high levels of toxins and then that give them autism. No hate towards autistic people, I'm trying to make the theory as stupid as possible. Close bracket. Mud flooders are pretty special. The theory goes that there was a global mud flood sometime in the late 18th or early 19th century. This mud flood covered everything in meters of mud. It's also tied up in the Grand Tartarian Empire theory too. But I'm not going any further into this now. Sun safers. They'll tell you sunscreen is a scam. They'll tell you that sun damage is not cumulative. They'll tell you that you can't spend too much time in direct sunlight without protection. Then, inevitably, when they get cancer, they'll tell you that they were poisoned for telling truth. This one is actually kind of real and insidious. I've seen papers from actual doctors trying to claim that the benefits of increased vitamin D production from exposure to sunlight without sunscreen always outweighs the risk of cancer or sunburn, etc. So this conspiracy theory came about because of the ATF. People believe that the BOOG is coming if Biden wins. See, the ATF had a memo leak stating they want to classify pistol braces as stocks. This would turn R and AC pistols into SBRs, which and registered carries a 10-year sentence. This means that the stroke of a pen can instantly turn law-abiding citizens into felons with zero action on their part. People believe Biden will sign into law pistol brace ban because he is the one who created the assault weapons ban in the 90s. They believe that next they will try to repeal 2A. So they believe that Biden will bring about the BOOG. Anti-clothers. They find out most places mandate clothing. So they say that clothes are dangerous and walk around naked. Matrixers. We're actually living in a computer-generated simulation of our reality. The Matrix series of films are created specifically to make people think that the idea is just a flight of fancy. But it's all true. I suspect that these people already exist. Space deniers. They believe that planets, stars, and galaxies don't exist. Anti-holidators. Basically they think celebrating a day or week or month is a sin, such as Halloween, Valentine's, and if they go too far then Easter and Christmas are on their list. Or meaning number 2, they think humans shouldn't take holidays from work and should constantly work. Cults are a tool that the government uses to test a citizen's gullibility. Dropping body temperatures are actually harmless, and it's proved by how it was never explicitly stated that Jesus wore a coat in the Bible but he still died. Anti-contractionists. Tired of being mocked for constantly mixing up your and there. They insist that the apostrophe and different spellings are a conspiracy of the printing industry, extra ink, comma and a shadow collective called Big Pixel, and demand one simple spelling for all meanings that they will also get wrong. Anti-skeptics. They believe everything the media has ever wanted them to believe unless it suggests that governments or corporations are anything other than benevolent entities working together for the common good. They don't believe cigarettes are linked with cancer or lung disease, because that's what the media said first. That anything that is available to buy must be safe. And that profit is never, ever put before the well-being of people. They are the mindless sheep who rely on the mass media to make up their opinions for them. There are no worries. The powers that be are looking out for them in every way. That Jews control the world economy to everyone's detriment and their benefit. I find the people who believe this one tend to be anti-vaxxers and climate deniers and anti-maskers. Anti-AI. In the context of a future where AI is used and controlled by humans. No dystopia. Anti-gym people. They think that the government is storing our sweat so they can make clones and kill us all. Anti-solar. The govt put giant spotlights on a spacecraft that they fly across the country every day to simulate daylight. There actually is no sun. How about anti-taskers? Doing your tasks as crewmate is actually a way for the government to collect data on what kind of person you are.